didn't see myself yet. I always want to see myself because I just
Could he hear
throw
us?
in things.
Hello,
Daryl.
Daryl.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah,
heard
you
me
do.
just now.
Hello.
And where am I?
Come in.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Greetings, 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 and blessings, my villagers. How are you all today? Well, I don't even ask that question. This has been one busy weekend and an emotional week for me also on a lot of levels. Yesterday was the birthday of my beloved late daughter in love, Kathy, affectionately called Kat, but I call her Kitty Cat. I miss her terribly. And my unalived sister Lula, her birthday is today. My family called me and her Thelma and Louise. That's how close we were. Of course, I never watched the episode, so I never knew which one I was supposed to be. Uh, but in any case, what I do know is that she and Kat are rejoicing with the Lord in heaven with the rest of the ancestors. As I said, it's been a busy week, but right now I want to thank my support here, Sheila Bird and Juanita McClure. And I'm going to thank my promo crew. I certainly want to thank our engineer here, Norm. We call him King Norm because as he does kingly things.
Yes.
And I appreciate I'm Ruby Williams Shivers, your unapologetic amateur, and my co-host Rose Moore. I call her Queen Rose Moore. And as I said before, it's been a really busy weekend, but fulfilling, really. It is definitely no time to slow down. We've got so much on our plates. We've got work to do. I listened to Series Radio this morning, and I think it was on the Shauna Renee show. And they're talking something that's brewing out there. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. Homeland Security has a tape going around, AI generated, where black men are alleged to have a hit out on the ICE people, those groups. Now, I am sure most of you have seen it. I had not actually seen it because I don't really follow those algorithms. But it's dangerous, creating false reports on our black men, creating a scenario by which they can come in on our men. Someone suggested that the particular people they are accusing should sue for defamation. I say we should go further.
Yes.
The entire community should sue because what they are doing is attacking our entire community. It's serious, y'all, which requires each one of us to decide what we're going to do about it. We are going to challenge the government through what little legal authority we have. And in addition to getting more involved with the politics, something as simple as becoming a voter advocate. You know, election is coming up.
Yes.
Get active in your local politics. They say all politics are local, you know. Get involved. We see now that politics matter. And although we know that there are a lot of trickery in the last election, we still have to do our part. And for those who say, I don't do politics, I think we see now that politics do us.
Absolutely.
We have a great show today. We have great guests today. Dara Kwame Batts. He's the U.S. ambassador to Ghana from his organization. He's going to tell us about all that. He's a recent graduate of King College. He's going to tell us about.
Yes.
We've had him here before talking about our homeland, Africa. He will update us on what's going on there. In the meantime, let's talk about this weekend. Thursday, October 16th, was the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March.
Yeah.
Oh, what a day. Remember, it was at least 1,000,000 men who gathered in Washington.
Yes.
Some say even 2,000,000.
Mm.
But what I do know is there were more black men gathered in one space than had ever been
Yes.
seen. Under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan,
Yes.
they came from far and near.
Yes.
Women were not asked to be a part of that gathering, but some did go now. One of whom was a great lady from Newark, New Jersey. Well, she was from New Jersey, Sister Frederica Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Minister Farrakhan admonished the men to go back to their place of origin and do something. Well, Frederica Bay, while not part of the male contingency, heard the call. She came back to New Jersey, called some women together, me and my late sister Lula being two of them, and created the organization known as WISM, Women in Support of the Million Man March, and went to work.
Phenomenal.
I say she is one of the greatest organizers I've ever seen. And you can do good organizing when you feed people.
Yes.
You know, we would meet every Thursday, I think it was Thursday, at her house, and she would always have a pot of soup ready for us.
Wow.
Now that's organization. WISM, Women in Support of the Million Man March, grew to become just an extraordinary organization that helped the community, you know, and which can happen if you put your mind to it.
Absolutely.
Minister Farrakhan even visited us there at one point, and we did great things for the community, but like all things good, there are always detractors looking to sabotage or disrupt,
Yes.
either to become a part of or by creating havoc.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I learned from another great organization I belong to called CIMOTAP, the Committee to Eliminate Media Offenses Against African People. They now were created in 1987 and are still going strong.
Mm.
The secret is Betty Dobson, the co-founder of the organization, said, you end up with whom you started with,
That's right.
right? Their board is the same board from 1987, minus those who went on to heaven, that they started with. Because people will see the progress and want to be part. Well, they know that somebody got to leave for them to come in.
That's right.
So the seeds of dissension being planted. And if you're not careful, you know, it will disrupt what is a good thing. That's what happened with them in opposed to CIMOTAP, who today have the same group that started the organization. Like I say, minus those that went on to heaven. Because what happened is you start with a group, you know, with great success. There's going to always be someone out there wanting to get into what they perceive as success. And if you are not careful, you know, havoc will occur. Could be from within or outside, but to get access to what appears to be great. The temptation to sow discord.
Yes.
And that happened with WISM. Some new people came in, others were put out, unlike CIMOTAP, who didn't fall for the okie-doke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to the 30th anniversary celebration. Mayor Raz Baraka was keynote speaker,
Yes.
and Larry Ham was the moderator. Speaking of Larry Ham, always about the struggle. He's asking us to participate in activities he's putting on even for 2026
Wow.
already. The
time is now.
The time is definitely now. Now, the second activity this weekend was the Queen City Film Festival. Oh, what a time we had.
Ah,
Sister Rose is going to
I'm
tell us
so
about
excited.
that one.
I'm still excited.
I
from
am
the
still
whole thing.
excited. It was really exceptional.
I'm telling you, we had a great time. Ruby and I, we were overwhelmed, just overwhelmed. I put together a very brief synopsis of how the festivities went, and just bear with me. The Queen City Film Festival was most impactful in presenting an awesome display each night in extraordinary culture expression of our ethnical creativity and artistry in all areas of filmmaking and the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Director of the Queen City Film Festival, Lamar Maxon, and his team phenomenally executed 4 evenings of captivating activities, starting off with the gala.
Yes, so what the gala.
And Ruby was fabulous. Let
Yeah,
me
and
tell
so was
you.
the Rose.
She was fabulous.
We
And,
all felt fabulous.
Yes, starting, this gala was a mix and mingle with stars, directors, and filmmakers. We even took pictures with 1 or 2 stars. Ruby and I hobnobbed and talked with the industry's finest, from Plainfields and New Jersey trailblazers, from entertainment to the socialites. Then the food was delicious. As we were seated in a banquet atmosphere to enjoy the award ceremony that toasted the hard work of actors like Notori Norton. You all remember her in the movie Notorious B.I.G. She was Little Kim, and now she's doing Power, and she really deserved the achievement award that she got as a young actress from East Orange, right next to our neighborhood. And then was my favorite, Garnathard. Is that how you pronounce his name? Joseph? He's Tony in Tyler Perry's Zatima and Tyler Perry's sister.
That
which
one
is
we
my
took
favorite
pictures with, right?
We took pictures with that handsome young gentleman from Linden, New Jersey, my alma mater. And it was a night to remember. And I cannot forget the guy that I sat next to and we hobnobbed with, who played Suge Knight in Straight Outta Compton.
Okay.
Marcus Taylor. I believe you took pictures and talked with his mother.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. He was on our show at some point last year.
Wow, I tell you.
Very nice young man.
And after that, it was movies, short films depicting the struggles and experiences of our people throughout history and these U.S. of A. U.S. of A. There were short films on the experiences of Black family, Black love, the African diaspora, and the trauma of slavery. Yes, the Chicago-based filmmaker took young people to Africa to experience the motherland, set up a school that turned into laying the groundwork for a university there. Then personal interviews with the directors, the actors, the filmmakers complemented the emotional, professional experience of their creativity. I tell you, it was a night to remember.
Oh, it was a night.
And to sum it up, the next day, there were more films at the local multiplex theater depicting more African filmmakers, up and coming, interviews, photographs, refreshments. Most memorable to me was the silent and the heartfelt lament of we who were in the audience as we watched the atrocities committed in memory of our Black brothers and sisters like George Floyd and Tamara Rice, and more young filmmakers' portrayals of racist, traumatic events. Yes, it was like you can feel the silence in the room. But there was another young filmmaker that portrayed, she was a female, the spiritual connection of her ancestors and their guidance through the generations as she shared this experience of legacy with her young son and daughter. No words, I tell you, no words.
Yes.
Needless to say, an experience to remember and to draw as we navigate and draw from past experiences of those who forged the way before us and resisted racist trials of the white supremacists who orchestrated these unpunished crimes through history. And yet, from their strength, we still rise. So I tell you, it was a great time.
I know it was, and they invited us to an after party. But what did we do, Rose?
Party. What do you think we
did? We did not party.
What do you mean?
The after party. I partied home, and
Oh. I thought you meant on the other night.
No, no.
Oh no,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I party home to sleep. It was
Right.
too much for me.
It was too
It
much.
was
It
so
was
emotionally
it was an excellent
overwhelming.
affair.
Oh
Excellent
yes,
affair.
yes.
Now we promise that we'll bring you all, my villagers, each time as best we can, clippings, and we do that deliberately and intentionally. Each week, which will edify, educate, and encourage us to see ourselves in the reality of who we really are.
Yes.
Okay, don't know what do we have today? Either one of them you can put on. Okay,
Yes, it
state
is.
of emergency.
The alarms are ringing. The National Urban League, one of the oldest and most respected civil rights organizations in America, has declared a state of emergency for Black America. And guess what? Almost no one is talking about it.
In the last literally 6 months, we've seen a dismantling, the closing of the Department of Education, the, in effect, change in the mission of the Civil Rights Division to become an agency that simply retaliates against political enemies, the freezing of civil rights cases against corrupt police departments and police officers are just examples. And then add to it the big ugly bill, which is going to strip away healthcare education to so many people. These are warning signs and these are alarms.
They didn't call it a warning or a prediction. They declared an emergency. Why? Because rights that we thought were secure are being rolled back. Voting rights restricted, diversity programs dismantled, Black history erased from classrooms, and unemployment, the highest of any group in the country. But here's the thing. While Black America is declaring a state of emergency, Black Africa has been living in a state of emergency for decades, even if no one dares to call it that. From rising unemployment to crushing debt to the front lines of climate change, the challenges are real.
One quick piece of data is that last month the Black unemployment rate rose while the white unemployment rate stayed the same or slightly decreased. And then in March, you had a record number of Black women laid off.
That's why this state of emergency is also our chance to do what's never been done before. Stand together and respond as a unified force. The alarms are ringing. The National Urban League, one of the oldest and most respected civil rights organizations in America.
See, that's why we bring these things on so you can get it from the horse's mouth. You know, I say, and put it where the goats can get it. And I said last week, or when you hear me, those metaphors, indicative of my country upbringing. And I'm straight from the country, so I bring those metaphors with me. Now, our next segment usually is African Speaks. I usually bring folks on or bring the clippings, but we have the real thing here today. We're always excited when this guest comes on and he brings us news right out of Africa. Dara Kwame Bat, who is now affiliated with Queen College. He'll tell us about all that and more. Welcome, Daryl. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. It's an honor to
Thank
be
you,
here.
Rose. He must
Thank
get an
you.
applause. He deserves an applause.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Um, Special greetings to the hosts.
Thank you.
As you were talking, before I get into the Africa piece, but as you were talking about um, the Million Man March, I attended the Million Man March,
Wow.
and I remember, and I can truly say that was probably one of the most remarkable experiences that I've ever had.
I'm sure
I
that
could
Um,
imagine.
sentiment of all.
where the camaraderie,
Yes.
the brotherhood
Yes.
was so thick. Um, like as you walked, we were arm to arm with brothers from as far as you could see,
Yes.
and everybody was speaking. Everybody was shaking hands. It was like it was definitely a great experience. I know it was an experience that caused me to start doing the work that I'm doing today.
Okay.
When I was at Montclair years ago, back in 1984. Um, I was the vice president of the Black Student Union.
Wow.
Okay.
And so, and we, we had opportunity to bring guests to the, to speak on campus.
Hmm.
And I remember in a meeting, I said, let's try to get Minister Farrakhan to come.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's like, okay, let's get Minister Farrakhan. So we actually we got Minister Farrakhan, but the president of the college had told us that we can't have President Farrakhan. He called me into a meeting and said it's too much of a security risk
Oh.
to have Minister Farrakhan come.
Mm.
So I said, but at the time they had did some other um, speakers that were controversial. So anyway, I said, well, I'll tell you what. Um, I'll have about 300 black students in your office tomorrow, and you can explain to each and every one of them
That's how you do it.
why he can't come. So of
Mm-hmm.
course he accepted the fact that he had to let him come. And
Wow.
on February 5th of 2024, Minister Farrakhan spoke at Montclair State College.
Okay.
And I got to meet him. We sat down and we talked for about 15, 20 minutes prior to him speaking. And the Jewish students had put out these flyers. And what they did was they had put out flyers with a bunch of headlines, partial, things that he said, which gave a narrative of something completely different.
Right.
And he went over each one of them with me, and then he explained what he said after that,
Mm.
or what he said before that. So that was like my first. I was, a college student, but
Right.
that was my first introduction to how biased the media,
Yeah.
or how they shape the narratives in what they want us to believe.
Exactly.
Because I had, you heard, during that time had heard so many things about him and so many negative things. But after hearing him speak, it was like, my eyes were opened
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
to this world is not what I'm seeing is not really what this world truly is.
That's
Right.
right.
So at those experiences, and we even had our organization had um, uh, Frederica Bay and her daughter over for dinner years ago.
Hmm.
Okay.
And we sat down and we talked, and they were so inspiring. So I just wanted to speak on the different things that how the impact that people have on your life can
Yeah.
cause you to do the work that you do today.
Absolutely.
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 So
Absolutely.
I just wanted to definitely, you know, um, give my props to, those that inspired us and me to do what we're doing today.
Right.
Hmm.
I recently returned from I was gone for about 18 days.
Hmm.
I was in Dubai. I went to Dubai first,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and
nice.
then from Dubai I went to Ghana.
Mm.
Right.
And our organization has been tasked by Kane University to increase um, their student population in Dubai.
Mm.
Okay.
One of the things that they want to do is they want to put a footprint in the Middle East in
Hmm.
Dubai
Hmm.
and increase student population, students coming from Dubai here and vice versa. So
Hmm.
so I spent days there doing that with the president, Dr. Epaulet.
Okay.
Um, but then after there was a delegation of about 15 of us. The delegation left, and I crossed the continent and went to Ghana.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um,
That's your
and
second home, I
went to
think.
yes, my second home.
Mm.
Um, so I went to our center in Ghana, and I began meeting with different people, and I would say, I guess, different people of different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because what I wanted to do was I started setting up. I said I wanted to start doing video conferences where people on this side can get to see some of the the cultural things that are done in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want them to see, because a lot of one thing in particular is that a lot of times how negative they'll say mud huts,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they say, "Oh, you live in a mud hut."
Mm-hmm.
Yet they glorify an igloo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is made out of ice,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they're using the elements that are there. And the mud huts that are in Ghana are made out of the elements that are there.
That's right.
Now, and I said, because I want you to explain that you're not going outside and putting just water and dirt together like we did as kids and calling it a mud hut.
Right.
Okay.
But it takes ingenuity,
Mm-hmm.
it takes
I
science,
guess I'd
it
imagine.
takes all those things in order to build somewhere that you're able to live in
Yeah.
and it rain and it not come down, because
That's
we
right.
know as kids when we if we went outside and built something just of mud, when
Right.
it rained it would go away.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But these structures is their architectural phenomenons
Mm-hmm.
that
Wow.
they're able to build these things. So I want to change the narrative
Right.
Yes.
of
Yeah.
the things that we may have seen as negative or has
Mm-hmm.
been portrayed as negative
Right.
and turn it to a positive.
Yes.
Um, and so we're looking at the weavers that make the kente cloths. We
Mm-hmm.
want to show just how intricate
Mm-hmm.
that process is,
Mm.
so that, because a lot of times we have that narrative of we came from kings and queens and
Right.
the ingenuity, and we want to be able to show that's still there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right.
It's just not portrayed
That's right.
that way.
That's right.
So I spent a week, and we have some, going to have some exciting things coming up. In the, starting in the beginning of the year, of being able to expose um, America to the beauty and the ingenuity and the science and the math that goes into the things that are in Ghana.
Right.
So I was very, very excited about that. I attended a funeral while I was there. One of our guys, our technical director for our censor there, his brother had passed away.
Oh wow.
So I got to, it was just
How was that
like a
experience?
culture.
What was
Excuse
that?
me.
I was just saying, what was that experience like?
Oh, it was completely different. One thing, because I don't know, like Sister Ruby had said, and when we grew up, I remember you couldn't wear red to a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a no-no. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew why, but that was always taboo
Mm-hmm.
to wear red to a funeral growing up. Um, but they have like red and black is the color to wear to a funeral.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one difference. And the other difference was that we sat there for maybe 3 hours, and they had a DJ and there was partying
Mm-hmm.
throughout the whole entire event. So it was definitely culturally different.
Yeah.
And I
Mm-hmm.
guess the most shocking thing was, like, how when I went to view where the body was, he was standing up.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, I turned the corner, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had all white on, white gloves. And I actually thought it was like somebody worked in the Undertaker,
Right.
I go,
Right.
well, where's the body? And
Usher
then I
is.
realized
That was
that
him.
that was him
Oh, okay.
standing there.
Wow.
Uh-huh. That's interesting.
So
Wow. Yes.
after a while, after everybody came in, and so they put him in the casket eventually,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
they took him off to bury him. But it,
Mm-hmm.
it was like just different things like that, being able to see
So,
how death is celebrated
yeah.
Yes.
on
Yes.
on that side and this side. So it's
Yes.
just we just want to open up with so many things that are happening,
Right.
to our community.
Mm-hmm.
We want us to, especially our kids, to know that you come from greatness.
That's what
Yes.
the
Yes.
aim here is to restore. The
Yes.
Yes,
intentionally and deliberate. That's what our aim is, to
yes,
Yes.
restore us to our greatness. And that reminds me when I was in Ghana, I was in Senegal, and my cousin and I sort of went to the border of Ghana, and we realized we didn't have our passport, and they would not allow us in. But we walked. It was somehow they didn't allow the car in, but we got out of the car and we walked, and we were walking into Ghana, and we met a funeral procession coming.
Mhm.
And you're right, it was just so festive. The festivity of it, it was festive, and and the drums and everything is just really
Yes.
reminiscent if you knew the history of our country, our continent. You recognize, I recognized immediately it was something different,
Right.
but it was what I
Yes.
had read about. Yeah, it was just a beautiful experience.
I wonder if that would be something like they do
In New Orleans,
Yeah,
yeah,
in New Orleans.
yeah,
In New
that's where
Orleans,
that came from.
exactly.
Uh-huh, yeah.
That
Because
would
you
exactly.
really do get to see where things that we do and don't really know why we do them.
Right,
Yes, yes,
exactly.
yes,
You
yes.
actually get to see, like, I remember when I was younger, and we'd be standing around, my younger years, and we might have something to drink, and we pour a little bit out for the brothers that are
Yes,
not
yes,
here.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah,
that comes from,
yeah,
that comes from Africa.
yeah,
The
yeah. The
libations being poured
libation,
out for the
Right, the
ancestors.
libation,
libation.
right.
Uh-huh.
But at the time, we had no idea that we were doing something so ancestral.
You're right,
Right,
exactly.
right,
As like
We
right.
just thought we was doing something hood,
But for
Yes,
for
yes,
but
instance, we
yes.
accused of being black folk time.
Mm-hmm.
The
right,
lateness of it. It has a the significance of it is
Right,
culture, because late to us is not the same as late to these people.
right,
We don't
right.
cherish we cherish our time,
right,
and our time does not mean you have to be what they call on time.
right.
Right,
So there's a
exactly.
lot to learn behind much of our culture that we just lost and don't know anything about, and we
That's
just
right.
look at it in a negative way. But all the time, it's what we're about. Yeah. Well, it's good to
And
hear
it's
you say that.
interesting that and even in Ghana, that a lot of the culture has even been lost there
Yeah. Sure.
because of the British rule that they had for years.
Mm,
Colonization. We was enslaved, but they were colonized.
mm,
That's right. And
Mm-hmm.
so, so a lot of times we're able to um, enlighten them on certain things
Mm-hmm.
that
mm-hmm,
they didn't even know about, because
mm.
it's not like while British rule, they weren't teaching the truth.
Right.
You're
So,
right.
Absolutely.
and so now it's one of the things, I was meeting with an organization that's trying to, like, they're still cutting um in most schools, they're still cutting the young girls' hair,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
right? And that's a British thing. And the reason
mm.
why the British cut the young girl's hair is because that it was unmanageable. It was too much of a distraction.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk into a school now, and everybody's hair, they're like, are just almost bald, like the
Mm.
boys and the girls.
Mm.
And and that's because this is what the British did, and they're still doing things
Mm-hmm.
that the British did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was talking to a lawyer, and I said, "Why are you?" Because the lawyers there put on these white wigs,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and I'm like, "Why are you still putting on these white
From
wigs?"
Mm-hmm.
history, English history. Yes.
Yes, and then they have in the government, they have what is it called?
Isn't that
Like,
right?
dress down Friday, or
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, they call it costume Friday or something like that.
Okay.
That's the day you're able to wear African clothing.
Oh my goodness. In Africa,
Wow. In Africa.
Yes.
huh? That is,
Yeah. But
yeah.
so Monday through Thursday, it's business attire. But African attire is not
It
considered
is
business
business
attire.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter how dressy, or no matter how, formal it is, it's not business. European attire is
is the
considered
norm.
business
Yeah,
attire.
Right,
and
of
well,
course, of
that's pretty
course.
much what it is across the world, and particularly here in America. That's why we are so caught up in trying to imitate
Right,
Yeah,
somebody that's trying,
right.
really trying to imitate
absolutely.
us. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Now I'm just going to read this very quickly to go back to what you was talking about, how we get caught up in other folks' definition of who we are. This CP, colored people time. You know, we hear it all the time.
Yes.
If
Right.
we accept CP, colored people time, as a pejorative, a negative, then we have bought into the notion that our culture is inferior. John S. Mabita says in his book, African Religions and Philosophy, in Western or technological society, time is a commodity which must be utilized, sold, and bought. But in traditional African life, time has to be created or produced. Man is not a slave of time. Instead, he makes as much time as he wants. Say the explanation of Mr. Abida and other learned African scholars suggests to me that the concept of time in any society is cultural. And if so, then culture defines time, and on and on and on. So there's a whole lot we got to learn about how to redefine ourselves.
Exactly. I just want to say something about this book. It's excellent. I just wanted to show you this
Well,
book is
thank you,
excellent. I'm reading it, and it made me think of something. Have you noticed that there's been a decline in black comedians? Because
Isn't
there's a
that
decline
interesting?
because a lot of the verbiage that she's talking about, we took as a joke. We used to laugh at
Yeah.
these things
Yeah.
because the comedians used it.
Yeah.
And we used to laugh at these things, but we're becoming awake.
Yeah,
And we're realizing now that these things are not conducive
right.
to our growth or our psychological development.
Exactly. We're learning. We are learning. It's coming. At least we're gonna perish for lack of knowledge, and I don't
Yes.
think we're gonna perish. We're
Not
gonna
at
make
all.
sure
We're
through
on the
our
rise.
through
It's
our
just-
podcast and the
we're
whole
on
thing.
the
We're gonna
rise.
and other folks and they listening to black information. I encourage all my villagers. What listen? Don't turn off the CNN and the MSNBC and all that other crap, and listen to black news because they're bringing it. They're bringing it to where it is.
Vital information.
Yeah. And so now, Dara, inform us about what you are doing. I know what you're doing, but it's so important the connection you have between your group and Africa. So,
Right. So let me just give, if I may, the name of the organization is OEATA International. And basically, what we do is we do video conferencing programs where we connect students from America and different countries from around the world with Africa,
oh wow,
enabling students to be able to have, because we know that a lot of people won't be able to have to take a trip physically to Africa. So but we still want people to be able to meet face to face, because you'll read things in books, you'll hear things on TV, but there's nothing like being able to speak to someone
That's right.
about who they are, what's going on in their country. So as of today, at date, we've connected over 500,000 students from around the
Oh,
world
that's awesome.
with
awesome.
students
That's
in
it.
Africa.
That's awesome.
And that's where that's what we've been doing. We've connected. Last year we did a video conferencing, and we had 47 different countries in Africa connecting with one another.
Oh my word,
And
that's
that's
awesome.
and I don't know that people realize just how um in Africa how disconnected each country is from the next.
Yeah.
Like in most cases, you can be right next door to a different country and you know nothing about that next country. So we're also looking to tear down the walls
Yes,
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 and
that
unify
exist
it.
definitely.
between the countries.
Yes,
That's all
unified and
deliberate too,
confident.
While
Yes.
we were enslaved, they were colonized, and they
Mhm.
separated Africa the same way they separated us from this
Yes.
guy.
Yes.
When they
Right.
brought us, they stole us and brought us across that ocean. They
Mhm.
dropped us off at different places. So that's
Yes.
why
Right.
we are sometimes confused, even amongst us in the diaspora. We
Yes.
say, "Well, I'm a Haitian American. I'm this," and we want to be counted as that. Don't know we
Yes.
all African from
Yes.
African.
wherever we coming from. But
Yes.
it's a debate among us now. Some of us is who are we really African? No, I'm Haitian. Or I'm
Yeah.
this. No, you
Right.
African. That's where
All
they
Right.
coming from
brought you
Exactly.
Africa.
from.
One blood.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
One blood. That
yes,
is awesome. That unification is so
yeah,
necessary.
yeah.
Because I remember as a kid, um, when people they would say, "Where are you from?"
Mhm.
And mostly all of us, African Americans, all we could say is North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Georgia,
Right.
Florida.
Mhm.
That's all we could say. We didn't
Mhm.
know anything
Mm-hmm.
beyond there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, Little Kelly, North Carolina. That's where, that's where I'm
All
from.
right.
But now, especially with the technology
Mm-hmm.
that's available, as far as even with the DNA,
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
um, being able to reconnect, um, with being able to trace back,
Your ancestors.
and
Yeah.
go back generations,
Yes.
to see, because I've been doing quite a bit of that with the genealogy,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and so and it's interesting because it took me to Europe as well, which
Mhm.
is the truth
Yes.
of our ancestry.
Mhm. Mhm.
That like most of us, there's some European in there.
Yes.
When I did my genealogy, I found that I was 15% European.
Mhm.
Well, that's
You know,
sort of natural because when we were brought over here, even 400 plus years ago, we have been mixed by, I call it, what is it? What you call it? Human trafficking.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what they
right?
did. They mixed us and then
Absolutely,
they did it deliberately.
Right.
When the period when slavery was supposed to end, they knew they couldn't bring any more slaves over, so they began to breed,
right. Yes,
us together, and so to create the workforce for them.
Mhm.
So yeah, I said majority of us are mixed in one way or the
Yeah.
other,
absolutely.
and so that's not strange. From the time that we came, say first three, fourth generation out, we became mixed with them,
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Hmm.
that's who we are, now. Matter of fact, my fifth book was supposed to be damaged goods made
Mhm.
in America, but I changed it to
Yes,
do the one with the black man, ode to the black man. So what it tells us is that in any case, however we see ourselves, we've been damaged.
yes, absolutely.
Even to the extent being mixed and mangled.
Mhm.
No fault of ours. It's just that it is what it is.
Right.
And so many of us, if we had, the DNA tracing, I guess we could trace it back to some European person,
Mhm.
because that's what happened with us.
Mhm.
Right.
Uh-huh. And I just want to quickly go back to we're talking about the Million Man March. You was talking about the Million Man March because it was just such a fascinating period
Yes.
in our
Yes.
lives. And talk about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I can't say enough about him. But
Yes.
it's interesting when he speaks, and those other folks, what I'm talking about, want to try to present him as to be something other than what he really is. And he
Mhm.
Right.
declares all the time, I don't hate anybody, and I know he doesn't. He's got such a good heart. I know he doesn't.
Yes. He
But he
does.
just tells the truth. But it's interesting because when I first met him, that was years ago. We had a new mayor that came in into Plainfield. I think it was Mayor McMillan, the late Mayor McMillan, because he's
Mhm.
no longer here.
Mhm.
And I got a call early one morning, and it was the mayor on the phone, Mayor McMillan. I didn't know him, and I didn't know how he knew me.
Not
I
you.
wasn't. And he said to me, they're talking about bringing Minister Farrakhan into Plainfield. And what is your opinion on it? It blew my mind. First of all, for the mayor to be calling me, and I didn't know how I connected with somebody, one way or the other. I said, why not? It's an honor. It's a
Mhm. Mhm.
blessing.
Mhm.
And so we did. He came in. He was at Plainfield High School, And
Wow.
yeah, I was at Plainfield High
Wow.
School, and great brother, the late brother Cathcart, he brought him into Plainfield, and I knew the brother because we did had done some things together, and he asked me to come to the Plainfield High School where Minister Farrakhan. He wanted me to be on stage with them.
Oh, that's
I
wonderful.
almost fainted. I tell you, and I didn't know the connection or the reason, but I certainly was
Was
not going
honored.
to. It
Yes,
was an
yes,
honor.
yes, yes.
I was on the stage with him, and when it was over, everybody wanted to meet, naturally, to meet Minister Farrakhan. So I was there. I was a little frightened, a little timid, what it
Mhm.
was. And so Brother Cathcart came over to me. He said, "You don't have to really meet him now." He said, "Because I'm having him for dinner at my
Mhm.
house when we finish, and I'm going to invite you over."
Mhm.
Whoa, my word. It was like the best news I had heard.
I know.
Uh huh.
Personal honor. I'm
Personal
scared of
honor,
you.
yeah. I tell you. So I called my sister, my late sister, May, and then my other sister, Rose, and Jack, and my friend. I said, "I'm going over to Brother Cathcart. You'll come with me." And they did. It was so interesting. So I went, and I was just honored to be
Mhm.
in his presence.
Presence.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's that kind of person. So when you mentioned that you had met him, I said, "Well, I got to share that with the public
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
an honor.
Yes.
It was a
Yes.
total honor for me to have met him like
Mm.
that. Yeah.
When you said that, also the later, maybe 2 or 3 years later, he had spoken at Madison Square Garden.
I was
Mhm.
there at
Um,
Madison Square
yes,
Garden.
and
Yeah.
I was there in Madison
Mhm.
Square Garden, and everybody, he was walking through the tunnel. Everybody was like, "Minister Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan,"
Uh-huh.
and he saw me, right,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Brother Darrell, how are you?"
Oh, wow.
That was just,
Wow.
I was.
Too much.
Wow.
but
Everybody was like,
but brother
"Oh, you know
Darrell,
him?
yeah,
You
brother
know him?"
Darrell, you was at that also. Remember, prior to maybe 30 minutes prior to, there was no one in the stadium.
Mm.
I say,
Yes,
wow. My sister and I was there, and we say, wow, no one's gonna be here. And
When the doors
Sister Rose,
open,
when the
I
doors
could
opened,
imagine.
it was
yes,
I
packed.
yes.
I
could
don't
imagine.
understand how that happened. It was a packed stadium.
Packed house.
Probably
It
for his
was.
Yes.
security, they held things
Yeah,
back.
it was
Held
packed.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now, what you doing now? When are you going back to Ghana? Can Rose and I go with you?
Yes,
We
please.
can we
Well,
ride in
I'll be
the what do
going.
they ride when
I'll
you can't pay the way for?
right, right. I'll carry
I'll be
your
going
bags.
Yeah.
back to Dubai.
Uh-huh.
Next. No, what's this? In November.
Okay.
So I plan on. It's an easier, like, once I'm in Dubai, it's only an 8-hour trip to Ghana.
Okay. All
So
right.
how long to
So
Dubai? How long does that take?
about 13
Oh
hours,
wow,
Okay.
that's still like.
and
Mm-hmm.
then it's 8 hours over to Ghana. So I'll probably be going to Dubai frequently. So when I go to Dubai, I'll also be going to Ghana
Right.
as well.
Okay.
Okay.
We can be a stowaway,
You
can't we?
stowaway. That's what I'm.
We
What
Right.
I'm
can
trying.
we can do that.
I can
We
do
can
that.
do that.
We can certainly do that. Well, now it's interesting. Give me some information. I know you associated with King College. What is that like, and what happened? How did you get affiliated with them to that length?
Well, Dr. Lamont Repillette, who's the president of
Mm-hmm.
Kane University, he grew up in Carteret.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been
That's your
knowing him.
stomping ground. Mm-hmm.
Yes, 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 yes. I've known him since, he's younger than me, so I've known him since he was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um, so and then he was the uh, the superintendent in um, Asbury Park, and he brought our program in and connected the students in Asbury Park, and so then he became the commissioner of education for New Jersey for
Mhm.
like 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
Okay.
So we worked together there, and
Okay.
so now that he's the president of Kane, um, uh, he's we've been working together, and it's because of the fact that we've been for years. What we've been doing is connecting people
Mm-hmm.
from different walks of life, different countries. So they're utilizing what experience that we've gained in being able to do that. So that's why they brought us in and said, "Hey, we want to be able to bring students from uh, Dubai to
Mm-hmm.
become students here in New Jersey." I mean, he's doing phenomenal things
Mm.
um,
King.
at Kane University.
Well, how can we get
Um,
our students up? You better inquire about that, Rose. She
Yeah.
is our student counselor here, and we're going to be getting our students connected in some way to make the trans.
I just got
Transition
word
smoother.
what
Yeah.
since the other day that we're going to be doing some things with the students in Plainfield.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Hmm.
Through what
Yes.
organization?
Through
Through
his.
our organization,
Hmm.
through
Are you
Kane
just going to
University.
recruit them? Yeah. Go to the
Yes. Well,
schools?
no, not for school, but as far as cultural exchange
Exchange
programs
Yeah.
program.
in
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Plainfield.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Because they have a couple of programs in Plainfield that you can make direct um,
Yes.
networking with. That's why I asked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you
Hmm.
come out to Somerset?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Because I know even our church, we have a really big church. What is it?
First Baptist
First
Church.
Baptist of Lincoln Gardens.
Yes.
Dante
Yes.
Quick is the pastor, and there's like what any given Sunday there's 1,800 to 2,000 people. So you can
Right.
imagine the students there, and we collectively collected the money real quick to take them to HBU colleges
Hmm.
tour. And I think what 300 students went.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
Something like
wow.
that.
Nice.
right. So I just wanted to give you a general idea
Hmm.
of
Right.
the
Absolutely.
young people population that you'll be impacting in one
Yes.
spot. You know what I
So
mean?
you can
In
get
one.
you can get my contact information
Okay.
from cousin Ruby.
Okay. We'll do.
Okay, we're always pleased to have you here. We look forward to it. All my villagers look forward to it. They know that you're
Yes.
coming and you're going to tell us some good news about Africa. But what I want to do too, please,
Another.
Norm, can we see who's on?
Oh, our
Yeah,
villagers.
yeah.
We when you get exciting guests, you
You're
get
right. Get
so
excited.
engrossed in the
Dina
guest.
Robinson, good evening, family. I'm watching. Okay, Joy Jackson out of California. That's Dina Robinson. Ann Chester, good afternoon. Villagers, Walter Shiver standing by. Lloyd Shiver. Jabbar, nieces, nephews, and friends, and relatives, and just keep on watching us and encouraging us because we're so pleased. What I want to say before we leave here is remind my villagers and friends and family again that I'm expecting my first children book to be out soon within the next month or so. It's called What's in a Name? And must you tell everything. So keep that in your mind,
Yes.
keep it on your heart. And what I need you to do is call into your bookstore, wherever you buy your books, ask about it. That will begin to let them know that the book is being will be out soon,
Hmm.
and they may have a better reason to try to get it into the bookstores or whatever they need. What's in a name? So we will be. I'll be keeping you informed as to when this book is definitely due. But
Hmm.
in the meantime, uh, make make ready for your children, and I want each of my villagers to declare their allegiance to this, and that they will make sure that they have at least two, three, four, five other folk who will be in line to purchase this book. We got to do that. That's how we do things.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so excited, Darryl, that you came and informed us. We have this segment on our podcast, Africa Speaks. And we bring folks on to talk about Africa, inform us, enlighten us, because Africa is doing great things, as we knew they would.
Yeah.
You know, after the feet have been taken off the necks of many of our people over there, there's great things to do. And this brother, what's his name? Abraham
oh.
Torre
Yeah. Torah.
from
Kuna Fosa.
yeah, Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso.
He is doing great things too. I'm very excited about what he's doing
Yes.
in Africa,
Yes.
bringing them together, because that is what's going to be necessary
Yes.
for Africa to be united
Yes.
a united country, a united continent, because there's so many countries and they're doing
Yes.
their own
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
But we know where that comes from.
Right.
But to the extent that we bring you information out, my villagers, we bring you all information that will not only edify you but continue to um, support support the effort of us trying to reestablish ourselves to our region of greatness. And I know now that there's a twofold type of thing we got to get involved with. When I initially started, it was strictly to reestablish and get ourselves back to our original self. But now, since this what's the man that's on the throne now, this king,
Yeah, he's a
he's-
king, all right.
we got to do
King
double
idiot.
duty. Yeah, we got to do double duty, and that not just restore ourselves to our greatness. We got to ask the question that my the beloved ancestor
What
Joe
you gonna
Mattis
do
said,
about it?
"What you gonna do about it? 'Cause we got to
Yes.
do things to help our people." And Dara, you are doing well. You
Yes.
have been doing. You know, because as you said, what you all are doing now was being done before the modern technology came to
Right.
be.
Right.
You always doing it.
Right.
So you continue to do what you do, and we're going to have you back on again.
Yeah, his boots are on the ground,
On
and she
the
speaks
ground.
so
want to
highly
say,
of
I just
you.
want to say thank you, and
Yes.
for having me. Not only thank you for having me, but thank you for what you do. Thank you for this
Yes.
show
Yeah, Ruby.
that is so informative.
Yes,
For our community.
She's a trailblazer, trust me, and I'm trying to just touch in her footsteps. You know,
Yeah.
I call it a phenomenal lady.
Oh.
She really
That's right.
is.
Dara, we're so pleased to have you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And my villagers, keep watch. Okay. And we appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much. And we say not goodbye. We just say we'll see you next week.
And don't forget to support us
Yeah.
virtually and financially.
It's on the bottom.
Information is on the bottom. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you put on there.
No, waiting for you to say.